Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer and welcome to my daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning into this very serious topic. I don't think I've ever made a video like this, but it needs to be discussed. So make sure you like, comment, share this video. People need to see this because it's getting worse and it's getting worse a lot faster. And this definitely affects every single one of us since we all are investing into something that goes directly against the dollar, right? Precious metals are a direct threat to the US dollar. When you transfer fake money into real money, you're taking the power, the control away from them and putting it into your own hands. You are in complete control. And obviously, they don't like that, right? When you are in debt, you're a slave to the system. It's a power move. They're going to push student loans on you. They're going to push anything that can keep you under the dollar. And that's also because the dollar is worthless. The dollar's only as strong as people think it is. So if people start to think the dollar isn't strong, it literally isn't. So they need people to have faith in it. And if all of a sudden everyone starts transferring their money into precious metals, which, it means that they are in control of their own wealth, what do you think would happen? And that's really scary, especially since the USD is the world's reserve currency. And this, this situation that's been happening since last year, 2020, has definitely exposed how broke, the severity of the United States financial system. Some countries have already opted out of the USD being their currency, and that could only be the start of things. Now, why am I talking about silenced from a YouTube perspective? Because YouTubers are the main source. We are the main the main line of connecting people, talking out, speaking about this, because where else would you really get this information so broadly, so quickly? So, it's almost like spreading, and Wall Street Silver definitely had a big part in spreading this information. I've been posting channel videos for 6 years on this channel, trying to spread awareness to the silver stacking community. Not even that. I'm trying to branch out into other categories. I'm trying to branch out and not just catch the silver stackers' attention, but people from stocks, people from Bitcoin. Because at the end of the day, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. You can't hold a stock in your bare hand. You can't hold a Bitcoin in your bare hand. And when we're looking at something as serious as a global crisis, something as serious as the dollar literally collapsing and having to restart, have a refresh on the financial system, precious metals is the only thing that's going to save you at the end of the day. It has worked for 5,000 years. It will work for another 5,000 years. Our financial system has only survived, and every single financial system has collapsed within 100 years or so. A financial system is a newborn baby compared to precious metals, even in terms of value. There's a reason for that. There's a reason since ancient biblical times, they saw silver and gold as money. And there's a reason that silver was actually more rare than gold and praised more than gold back in the day. Back in the day, they saw silver as more valuable than gold because silver was a lot more useful. It has antimicrobial properties. You drop a silver coin or just, a silver nugget in water, it purifies the water. You drop it in some milk, it helps the milk stay fresh longer. Silver is unlike any other metal. And at the end of the day, if you don't have silver, which 99% of the world doesn't, then you are setting yourself up for failure. And the worst part is the people that don't even have a chance, right? If you're watching this video, the people that have seen or have been at least warned about the dollar and at least shown the silver stacking route, or at least shown some type of proof or evidence that maybe you need to invest into silver, at least you have a choice. But the people that don't even have a choice, that don't even know about silver, that don't even know how corrupt our financial system is, that don't even know the dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power, that doesn't even know America's $30 trillion in debt, those people that don't even have a choice. They don't have a chance. That's what scares me, and that's why I want to reach out to broader horizons. Liking, sharing these videos are extremely important, not for my sake, for theirs. Just like when I say subscribe, it's not for my sake, it's for your own, right? I'm posting daily videos. 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard is my new upload schedule. But these videos, I work hard trying to figure out new information, what the current information is, right? How we can adjust and adapt accordingly to set ourselves up for the most success possible. The most success possible. There's been a lot of stuff happening. Precious metals prices are down right now. People are going to start to get a little wary, right? But at the end of the day, you got to remember the bigger picture, folks. For the last decade, the average price of silver was $15. $15. A couple of years ago, if we would have been informed that in 2021, August, silver would be $24, $25, even hit $30 a couple months ago, we would have been extremely happy. We would have been ecstatic. We would have been mind blown. But now, since we're in it, we look at the situation differently because we're desensitized to that $30 price range that we saw from the Wall Street silver push. And a lot of people started at $30, and that's why you can see how maybe the markets look bad right now. But if you've been stacking for more than a year or so, the markets are extremely up. And there's a lot more room to run. But anyways, trying to revert the conversation back to the silencing. Silver stackers definitely expose a lot. And YouTube has an interesting situation with this because obviously they don't want political type of information or debate, and I never talk about that. Yes, I've talked about Donald Trump. Yes, I've talked about Joe Biden. But when I'm covering those articles or when I'm covering what they're doing, I always say in the beginning of the video, this is nothing political. I don't care if you're left, right, up, down, sideways. I don't care. I don't care if you like the person, hate the person. I don't care. The whole point of this video is looking at what they're doing or the actions they're taking and how that's going to affect the precious metals market. Because as an investor, we still need to look at the decisions and see how it's going to affect the price. But the randomness, the other stuff, the noise doesn't matter. We can look at that. We can try to we can kick and scream and cry and pout, but what is that going to do? That's not going to affect our strategy. And the only thing that would actually do is make it worse because that's emotional involvement. Invest with your head, not your heart. And that's another reason why a lot of people panic sell or impulse buy. The two most dangerous words in the investing world. So I've been making videos since 2015 on this channel. And back in the day when I started, I was the first era of silver stacking channels, right? There was nobody before us, and when I say us, I'm talking about Salivate Metal, Junius Maltby, Cole Silver, Shadow Stack, Numa Stacker. Us 4 or 5, we started videos like this, educational videos, silver stacking for beginners, right? Long-term versus short-term stacking. There was channels that posted, videos, but it was usually like a full stack video, more of like showing off their stack or an unboxing, but there was no educational type videos. And back then, it was kind of scary. I remember when I first started, I had several videos taken down for, I guess it would be controversial content or what's the other word they use nowadays? Yeah, controversial or there's something else under their terms and services that if it's an iffy subject talking about not even politics but just government, they can definitely flag your video and they can take it down. And that's the gray area, because when we're talking about silver stacking, obviously silver stacking and central banks and the government, they don't really go hand in hand or in a positive way, right? When gold, especially gold, benefits, it's only when there's economic uncertainty. It's only when the economy is in bad shape. Now, yes, that falls into silver's alleyway too, but silver I call a win-win situation because even when the economy is recovering, silver also benefits. Win-win situation. And that's because silver is also an industrial metal, not just a monetary metal. But that's not even the point of this video. That's a whole separate video. The point is that stackers are starting to become more popular on YouTube. I mean, look at me, about to hit 50K. You got who else? I mean, what's his name? Silver Dragons is about to hit 100K, right? I remember when he started, right? Not that long ago, right? He's blowing up. YouTube, the silver community is definitely, and I mean definitely, growing. And I don't know how that's going to sit well with the ones that don't want silver to, right? Silver was the #1 performing asset in 2020. But if you don't watch my channel, you probably didn't know that because nobody was talking about it. People don't want silver to succeed. I made a video actually a couple weeks ago where it exposed the government has been throwing trillions of dollars to inflate stocks to try to push gold and silver down, throwing billions of dollars to try to push silver and suppress the price of silver and gold. They don't want people to take the power away from them. Just like the Hunt brothers. In 1980, silver was $50. That was because the Hunt brothers cornered the silver market. They owned 77% of the global silver supply. And no, that isn't a twist of words. No, that's not an exaggeration. The Hunt brothers owned 77% of the global silver supply. What do you think the government did? They banned silver. They acted extreme, acted severe, acted drastically, and they literally banned silver. No, that's not a that's not a twist of words either. That's not an exaggeration. You couldn't buy silver. They banned it on the COMEX. You could not buy silver. So that's why in 1980 silver was at $50. Then the government banned silver, and then it went from 50 down to 14. And that was because they banned it. You couldn't buy silver. All you could do was sell it. So if you couldn't buy it, obviously the price collapsed. It was called Silver Rule 7, which was the act of them banning silver, and then that led to Silver Thursday in March, and that was when the price collapsed more than 50%. That's the severity, that's the reality, right? That's the reality. And if they're going to, and the whole point of me saying that was because the Hunt brothers situation caused a lot of traction, a lot of attention. People were wondering, what's up with these guys buying silver, right? Because this isn't just investors hearing this story. People that have never invested a single dollar, right? People, just normal everyday people, are hearing the story. Why do they want silver? Could you imagine if the reason they found out was because they realized the corrupt financial system, they realized that the dollar's collapsing and that they wanted to protect their wealth in the precious metals? Do you think the government wants them to know the real story? No. The government's going to twist the story, which they did, twist the story into making it seem like the Hunt brothers were some evil brothers trying to do this illegal thing to corner the market and use it for, like, it made it seem like they're criminals, right? That's why they did that, because if people knew the truth, then a lot more people would start and, transferring their money out of the fake money into the real money. This is stuff you need to be, you need to think about, especially moving forwards as the financial system, gets more severe, as trillions of more dollars get thrown out, and as silver gets more popular. More channels are going to be created. More hundreds of thousands of members are going to be entering Wall Street silver. And the bigger it gets, the less the government's going to like that. And if they banned silver in 1980 because they needed that supply that the Hunt brothers owned for their own sake to make these cars and make everything that silver is used for, then I couldn't see why they wouldn't do it again. And it's a similar situation with Wall Street silver, because they're also somewhat cornering the market, trying to buy all the silver. We already know silver is scarce, and if they need, right, and think about it. If there's no more silver left, which I made a video talking about the below ground supply versus the above ground supply versus the global production, I literally made a video showcasing exactly what year we will run out of silver. And if there's no silver left, how do you think the newest, latest iPhone is going to get made? How do you think the newest, latest Tesla is going to get made? How do you think the whole world going green and saving the planet, how do you think that's going to happen? They're going to get our silver. I mean, if there's no silver left to mine, I mean, miners won't be able to keep up with that type of demand. So if everyone's holding it are the people that have the silver that they need, right? We want it, they need it. Producers turn into consumers, consumers turn into producers. We could see something. And it actually falls into my next video that I made, gold confiscation. The Executive Order 6102, several different laws were put in place where it was illegal to own your gold. You had to turn it in to the banks. You got paid for it, but you had to turn it in because they needed it. They needed it, and this was in times of economic crisis. Now, they're not going to kick in your front door and steal your safe, but it was illegal to own gold. And I could see something similar like that happening, where if they need silver bad enough, you have to turn your silver in. Only select people could keep it, and you had to. And if you got caught, and the fine was 10 years in prison, or what was it, $100,000. And that was back then. That was back in 1934 or something. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. 10 years in prison, or I think it was $100,000 fine or something along those lines. Something crazy. To even nowadays, that amount would be crazy. But in 1934, whatever, that's just insane. But that's the severity, right? And I could definitely see that situation happening, and it already is starting to happen. If you don't believe silver is scarce, tell me why there's a $10, $15 premium on American Eagles. The U.S. Mint admitted there's a silver shortage. The U.S. former Mint director came out in an interview I posted on my channel, I actually posted the video talking about the silver shortage, right? Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars, I showed a video in a live interview. He talked about why it's so hard to find silver. I mean, it's blatantly obvious that there's a shortage of silver. What's going to happen when there is no more silver, not just a shortage? Who knows? All I know is silver is definitely going to appreciate in value. And I know another thing as well is silver stackers always get the last laugh. Now, I don't want to scare you with this video. This is just one of those videos. It is serious because we are going to get silenced. My videos aren't going to get, I guess, shared as much as the next makeup video or the next, the video game channel, or even the next type of video talking about stocks or real estate, right? Because silver is a threat. And obviously, if it's a threat, especially to something like the U.S. government, you know that there's going to be actions taken behind the scenes to shut that down. Now, if you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you share this video, like this video, comment on this video. People need to see this. People really do need to see this. I really want this video to get the amount of exposure that it needs, because if not, then the situation could only get worse instead of better. I want people to hear about precious metals. I want people, this is life-saving. When people hear about silver and they start taking control, that's saving their life. We're talking about survival, right? Food, water, shelter, all that stuff is literally life or death. So silver stacking has saved my life. I'm sure it saved yours, and I hope it saves a lot others. And this is the start of it. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm doing a 48K giveaway, so make sure you're subscribed. Click the bell so you don't miss the entry video. This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.